year, we just wanted to highlight for appropriators the importance of ANA's native language grant programs. They're extremely limited funding. Right now it's only about $12 million a year. Just in our small network at Cultural Survival alone, we have found more than 300 tribal language programs. Now, not all of those programs are engaged in immersion work, but many of them are looking toward immersion. And so we're asking appropriators to look at the Esther Martinez initiative as a place where more ANA funding should be allocated within their budget. A basic human right of Indigenous peoples is for them to revitalize and transmit their languages and oral histories and traditions to young people in our own languages, because that's where our philosophies and our own accounts of creation really live.
Just after the last reauthorization, the National Indian Education Association took the ESEA bill, the Elementary and Secondary Education bill, and ripped through it. And they redlined it, and they made recommendations head to toe in the bill. So we thought it important what we were trying to do is diversify as much as possible the language that we were putting in. So not all of Indian country is in Title VII. We are spread out and thorough across the entire bill because Indian country is a part of the larger population, and we should be considered as such as they're doing the recommendations. So the piece that's within Title III is a native language piece. If you read who's authorized to do it, it's not formula-based. This is not the formula-based. This is a grant for all LEAs, TEA, secondary tribal education agencies, local education agencies, our tribal colleges and universities to apply for funding to teach language programs. There's some very specific criteria for how many hours have to be taught. And one of the interesting things that we wanted to include, and we heard over and over again to include, was an evaluation piece. We wrote in a geographic and linguistic diversity. So not all of the formula grants will be going to one area. We were trying very hard to make sure that the formula grants would be going across all of our nations, and so everyone would have an equal opportunity to participate. We know that some areas, some tribes are doing a lot more in language than other areas, and we didn't want that to be a deterrent to them to apply for the program. And so we were very thoughtful in the way that we would be able to diversify the funding stream when this was accepted. We have been told that we should see a bill drop very quickly, hopefully this week. This isn't the said and done bill. This is most definitely a draft. This is just the best way for the Senate Community and University to get this language out and vetted quickly so that we could be the first rolling. What is so exciting is that with all the hubbub and the talk and all the stuff that's been going on the Hill about trying to get this done in the deadline date, it's going to be Indian country that sets the pace.
What we'll see is that we really wanted to hit our big ideas. Tribal control, language and culture, and really the last part was on every ledge where a program exists, where Indians and Natives are not included, to include them. That was the big idea. So I don't know if I have much else to say, other than I think it's a really good time to be involved in education.
You know, these issues that are being discussed here today, we've been in close communication with the NCAI, NIEA, and AHEC, and many of the stakeholders involved in this. We support the inclusion of language, history, and culture in terms of how it best impacts American Indian students.
My memberships in NIEA and NCAI have really been some of the most valuable aspects of my daily work, and just following the issues that you're tracking and knowing that we have you here to lean on and lead us and make the right representation.